Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Masters of the Universe 40th anniversary figure, He-Man. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take a look at him in packaging, alright? Then I'm going to take a look at the figure and its accessories, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on him. And just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here we have him in packaging. I love the packaging for this. So you get your iconic exploding rocks, you know, your red rocks with the blue background. You got the 40th anniversary logo there. You get this window where you can see the figure, all his accessories, Masters of the Universe, He-Man. And then when you bring him up a little bit closer, you got your 30 points of articulation, your age restriction, and the Masterverse. All right, spin it around this side. You get a continuation of that explosion. All right, bring it to the back. You get this really nice artwork. I like that. I like how you have him. You got Battle Cat next to him. Gray Skull in the background. And Skeletor leaking in the, shadows there. Well, lurking in the shadows there. You also have a little bit about him. And the official Mattel logo. Bring them around this way. You got the continuation of your exploding rocks. And then underneath you got your legal and SKU. So with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is out of packaging. He's an alright looking figure. You know, he has a pretty much standard He-Man look. So first off, we're going to start with the rotation. So you have the front. You have this side. You have this side here, and now you got your back. So let's take an up-close personal look at this figure. First off, you have the head. Now the head I kind of have some issues with because they put a little bit too much detailing in the face for my liking. It almost gives him like a sunburn type look, maybe like a rash. You know, so I'm not liking all these dark marks around his face. But his hair, they did give it a nice wash, which is really nice. The same with his long cloth and his boots. They gave those a really nice wash, which is a shame because with the belt and his arm gauntlets, I wish they would have did a little bit more because they put all this work in the hair and in, cloth parts, but like his armor pieces, they didn't do that much detailing to. It's the same with his armor here. This looks pretty cool. Pretty much the basic look for He-Man. With the Iron Cross in the middle, with the red pieces on the side. So, he's alright looking so far. So now let's start looking at his points of articulation. So first off, his head does move. You got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You got an elbow joint. And you have a wrist joint. Alright. You do have a joint right here underneath the ribs. Alright. And one at the belt line. Spin around to the side here. You have a thigh joint with a swivel. Alright. You have a knee joint. You have a swivel at the top of the boot. And then you also have an ankle joint. So far, everything seems to move pretty well on this figure. Other than, some of the detail to him. He's an alright looking figure. Alright, so let's look at his accessories. So he comes with two hands. So he has a closed fist. Alright, he has an open hand. And he has the standard He-Man weapon. So first off, you got the power sword, which looks nice. It's kind of a like a soft gray. So it looks pretty good. I think I would have liked to have seen some sort of color to the wrap. I've seen other He-Man figures where like the power sword had like a white, almost like a bone color wrap to it, which gives it a little bit more pop. So I think I would have liked to have seen that with that. The same with his battle axe. I do like how they put like little cuts and nicks in it. But the same with this. I think it would have been nice if they would have put a little bit of color to the wrap, seeing how he is a 40th anniversary figure. And then he also has his iconic shield. You have a piece here that he can hold on to it. And also right here is where his arm fits through it. So now that we looked at everything, let's see how well it all works with him. So first off, let's start with the shield. All right, slide that across there like that. See if we could get this hand in here. All right. Actually, you know what would actually probably work better with this shield? And we'll get back into that in a minute. Is probably the open hand will probably work a lot better with it. But first off, before we get into that, let's see how well weapons pop into that hand. All right. No issues with that there. And of course the power sword. All right, no issues with that. So the sword, Warhammer fit in there fine. He has a sheath back here for the sword. That just slides right on in. There we go. Go and take the the axe out of there. Pull this hand off. The open hand in here. All right, slide that on there. And just have the open hand have that just like that. I think that works a lot better. You could probably get the closed fist on there if you really work it. But I think just to save yourself some trouble, the open hand fits it very well. I don't have any issues with getting that on there like that. Just pull that over that just a little bit more. So it fits nicely. And then last but not least, you have the fist. All right. So there you go. You got the fist. All right. Boom. So it's like, so far, whoops. He wants to lean forward. Everything seems to fit well with this figure. All right, so my final thoughts on this figure is he's okay. There's nothing really that spectacular about him. He's another He-Man figure, you know. For a 40-year anniversary figure, I think they should have did a little bit more to spice him up. The figure himself has some nice detailing to him. They put a nice wash on certain areas. I believe that the head piece, though, they put a little too much detail into the head to where it almost looks like, you know, either a sunburn or some sort of rash on his face, which, you know, I'm not really digging that personally. Like I said, the weapons could have used a little bit more detail to them, like a wrap on the sword and the axe. You know, maybe even the metal on the shield and sword and everything could have been done to look more like a metal than a plastic. So, you know, I feel like this figure is a hit or miss. Okay, if you're a completist and you want all the He-Mans, then yeah, you could pick them up. If you're looking at them saying, oh God, you know, one more He-Man to add to the list, he could probably be a pass as well. So, you know, he ain't the worst He-Man figure I ever seen, but he isn't by far the best either. So, you know, this one's a hit or miss. You can either, you know, get them to complete, you know, all your He-Mans, or you could say, you know, there's better stuff that I would rather pick up than this particular figure. So my overall thoughts is he's a hit or miss. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and hit that like, share, or subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one.